when we had to pick him out, everybody started an argument in the family because everybody thought that I was favoring him. I always over here, and it was a playful little puppy that was jumping all around. This is all from one litter. And I asked Ellie, and Ellie says, I don't care, Dad, just pick out a male. That's, I think, what you should concentrate on. And then Henry came along, and he said, no, I want that one in the corner. And way in the corner was a little dog, very placid, very quiet. Big ears flopping down, his tongue stuck out just about a half an inch. So I said, gee, I agree with you, Henry. And with that, Lisa got mad and said, yeah, sure, Henry said it's okay, so we're going to have that dog, right? And I'm not going to get the dog I want. And I said, oh, don't be silly. What's the difference? You don't know which dog is winning. So we took the one Henry said. Eddie was too small to have a judge on it. So we come home.
Not that it would have mattered.
Well, anyway, as time went by, the dog started to grow. And right before our eyes, we could see it growing. It started growing and growing. So Dennis walked in one day, and he was sitting down at the table, and he said, did you see what that dog did? I said, no. Well, what did he do? He said, he walked over to this table. He didn't pick his head up. He just slid it across the table. He's as high as the table. And he took a piece of Mommy's
butter.
No, chicken cutlets. And he disboweled it right before my eyes, before I could even determine what it was. Well, everything was fine. I laughed and every now and then we used to hear little complaints about people saying, hey, you know, you should put a collar on your dog and keep him in your backyard, because one lady said he was barking at her and scared her, and we had a lot of problems with this. But anyway, he grew up one day and he was in the yard and he was playing with all his little figures, and this is either the one or very similar to the one. And all of a sudden Myra looked out the back window and she says, look at the dog, what he's doing. And what he was doing is sitting on the grass and rubbing his rear end across the yard as he pulled himself all around the yard. So I said, what the hell's he doing? So I ran out to see, and lo and behold, I looked and I saw this part of this thing sticking out. So I said, now what the hell do I do? So I asked Mommy, you got a kind of a glove of some sort?
Pair of pliers.
She gives me one of these plastic gloves. So I go over to him and I'm saying, nice dog, nice dog. And while he's not looking, I reach over and I grab this thing by the back and I pulled it out, and he goes, yeah! And he runs forward, and this is the little thing, and I don't know how far we watched.
That's what he said. Oh, it's sterilized.
If you still smell it, it still smells like it.
But that was not a good dog. He gave Eddie 18 stitches on it.
13
stitches
we'll say 18.
Well, Henry should have learned not to pick the one that's in the corner, because he did the same thing with Rosie.
You know, but he was only stroking the dog upstairs in the living room. Remember, he was just stroking his belly or something?
No, he went to put his hand, he used to use him as a pillow, and he went to put his hands behind him to make himself comfortable, and he hit him in the wrong spot, and the dog grabbed him.
Now that was the day, remember, he got hit or something too? He got hit by a car or something?
Oh, he wrecked the Cadillac.
Yeah, so he was like wounded, right? So I was laying on his chest and I kept on blowing on his balls, and he was just like, and about the 25th time he said, fuck you. That was it. That's the truth, okay? You won't want it to know, he's got it on video. I blew on his balls.
All I could see on his face.
How was I to know he had black and blue on his balls, right?
Matter sticking out, no blood, just matter. And then we rushed you to the hospital. The next morning, I went to the dog because I felt very unsafe. In fact, Henry, I said to Henry, he didn't want to get rid of the dog. I said, Henry, be a man! Do you remember that? Yeah. He didn't want to take the dog.
He was in his bedroom with the doors closed.
I think Uncle John took it for me.
He took all our dogs. Any time that we got a dog that was a hindrance to her, she liked to be able to move, roam around, go to the store, not worry about the dogs, and she used to do what the hell she wanted. She got rid of the dogs.
Yeah, that's the reason.
Always. We used to come home, where's the dog? I don't know.
Yeah, anyhow.
The day I go to Uncle John's house in the morning to pick up Bobby Trez, I walk in the front door and Justine, Uncle Al's dog, had taken a shit right by the bottom of the stairs, and Uncle John stepped in it with his slipper, and he left the slipper there.
Dora, clean up this mess.
No, he went to work. He just left it there.
Yeah, he's always there. But yet, strangely enough, he hates dogs, he hates cats and everything, but you know what he really loves? Horses. And he loves the smell of horses. You know why?
Manure.
Smell that smell, you smell grass, He loves that stuff. And he can't take a dog or a cat, but that's because he loves horses, because he likes to gamble on them. And he loves to go to Belmont and just hang out and smell.
Somebody should take him to a dog race. Well, he goes, you know, every now and then. He used to go. I don't think he goes anymore. Every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, he goes there, has breakfast in the cafeteria there. Then he takes a promenade through to see the horses and the groomers and whatever. That's a great little stick. It really does. You guys should do that once in a while. I think you should.
Yeah, opening day is a lot of fun.
Well, when they have that gray horse, what's that gray horse that lost last year?
Secretariat.
No. What's the gray mist or something like that?
Seattle Sloop.
Well,
I want my brother to move in with